Outside the Springfield Hells Angels clubhouse, there was a police investigation.
Police are investigating a shooting outside the Hells Angels clubhouse.
Area of the Hells Angels clubhouse. We had units respond.
The Hells Angels are known globally, maybe even notoriously so. They've been around since 1948, stirring up controversies, clashing with the law, and getting into some pretty scandalous mischief that they wouldn't tell their mothers about. Despite being seen as troublemakers, they also maintain some form of order. To officially join the Hells Angels, you have to follow a complex set of rules. Those aspiring to wear the official Hells Angels vest must stick to a detailed set of rules, and anyone who thinks they're above the law will face consequences. Here are 15 strict rules that anyone wanting to join the Hells Angels absolutely has to follow. Being accepted into the club has its reasons. After all, they can't just let anyone in, right? People who want to join, known as prospects, have to do tasks until the club decides whether to include them or not. This process can take years for some, considering that once you're in, it's tough to leave. Joining takes a long time because once you're in, it's hard to leave. Before being accepted, the club needs a strong commitment from applicants. There are many requirements like having the right personality, owning specific bikes, and being ready to ride whenever and wherever. Unfortunately, the website suggests that if you feel the need to ask, you probably won't understand the answer. They pretty much say, "Don't call us, we'll call you." Members with full patches get to vote and are expected to use that right. They want potential members to understand that the club comes first, which isn't an easy task. The second rule gets rid of any idea of a sisterhood. It's definitely a brotherhood. While women do important things in the club, only men can be members. Sorry, ladies. Women who are part of the club as wives or girlfriends are called old ladies. Even when they travel, women usually go with their partners. In the past, female members had special patches and could attend meetings, but they couldn't vote like the men. So, for a man to join, his partner has to commit to the club's time too. The third rule is crystal clear: no allegiance to the law. It's no surprise that this group can't support law enforcement. If someone works as a cop, in a jail, or as a security guard, they can't be part of the Hells Angels. It's a conflict of interest that stops them from joining. Oddly, even with their actions, not everyone sees them as a criminal gang. The United States does, which leads to a lot of police attention and lawsuits. But in British Columbia, they aren't officially seen as a criminal group, even though the police sometimes raid their clubhouses. There was a big raid on the Hells Angels Motorcycle Club on Messer Street in Providence yesterday afternoon. The president of the local chapter showed up in court soon after, according to the police. The fourth rule means you have to stay connected to the HOMC forever. The initiation process is all about making sure members stay committed for life. The Hells Angels don't believe in retiring from the club. They want lifelong members. Each chapter is like a family that gathers to remember a member who's passed away. Sonny Barger's book, Hell's Angel, talks about how police used to make fun of bikers during these funerals, which have become a tradition all over the world. But there are times when members had to leave because of legal issues or got kicked out for breaking the rules. Some former members from Duluth wanted their Hells Angels tattoos removed because being kicked out wasn't enough. Others who left had to get rid of anything to do with the club, like symbols or gear. George Christie's retirement is a big example. Even though he left on good terms, he was completely cut off from the group. The fifth rule is all about how members should dress, kind of like ancient warriors, proudly showing off their symbols before a battle. Even though the biker style is more modern, the club's founding members made sure to trademark their symbols to protect them under the law. So people who aren't members shouldn't wear their symbols, mainly because they might get in legal trouble or even face physical consequences. The Hells Angels always display their logo and a winged skull on their vests and jackets, a clear sign of their membership, just like Sergeant Jacques Lemieux, a Canadian police expert on biker gangs, explained. Members have to wear patches and vests during meetings, showing their loyalty to the club. Number 6. Only Harleys are allowed in this club. Is a motorcycle club really a motorcycle club without Harleys? It might seem obvious, but this rule is strict. To even think about joining, you have to own a Harley-Davidson. This group represents a lifestyle, and the kind of bikes they ride is a big part of it. Owning one of these special motorcycles is a must, no matter the cost. The culture of riding a Harley-Davidson is deeply rooted, a testament to the brand's history and the loyalty of its riders. At first, Harley-Davidson made cheap and easy-to-maintain bikes, and now the name is closely tied to the club. Number 7. If one member gets noticed by the police, everyone stops. One for all for one, is how the Hells Angels operate, like the Musketeers' commitment. They follow society's rules, no matter what they personally want. This shows that any trouble while driving or not following the law gets everyone in trouble. But smart officers might rethink before using their authority. When a Hells Angel faces legal issues, it's like the whole club is being watched. With 100 stern looks from the club, a clever officer might see it more as a warning than just unity. But their aim is to show unity. Number 8. Say no to drugs. The Hells Angels might not have a clean reputation, but selling drugs isn't their main thing. They strictly forbid members from using or selling illegal drugs, which sets them apart from other biker groups that are more linked to the drug trade. Members aren't allowed to get involved in drugs at all, and breaking this rule means getting kicked out right away. Number 9. No talking to the media. There's a strict rule that members can't talk to reporters. They keep everything about their group a secret. They don't trust the media to show things fairly or to keep their words accurate. Also, only club members who know everything about the group are allowed to speak for them. Number 10. Be respectful. It's not a good idea to get on the wrong side of the Hells Angels, but they're not always as dangerous as they seem. They value respect and care among members, and many chapters do good things for the community. Plus, they have a strict rule against any violence or assault towards women, showing their commitment to principles that could teach others a thing or two. Number 11. Silence is golden. Club meetings are important, but talking about illegal things isn't allowed. To keep the club safe, they avoid talking about anything illegal during these meetings. Even though they don't like being called a criminal group, they know that some members might be doing illegal things outside the club. So discussing these things inside could hurt the club's image and is totally off limits. Number 12. Loyalty is everything. Above all, the Hells Angels want members to be loyal to the group. They don't want members to be loyal to the law or to other biker groups that aren't friends with the Angels. Their long history of rivalry with different biker groups, especially the Mongols, shows how serious they are about this. The final 3 regulations encapsulate crucial aspects within the club's code of conduct, mandating all members to maintain a substantial level of riding activity annually. This shared commitment to being on the road forms an integral part of membership. Equally imperative is the imperative of confidentiality. The preservation of club secrets and the discretion regarding fellow members are not just formalized rules, but also an unspoken ethos deeply ingrained within the club's culture. Upholding this principle is fundamental to fostering trust and camaraderie among members. However, a stern consequence awaits those who transgress these rules. The severity of the punishment is contingent upon the gravity of the violation. It ranges from expulsion from the club, a significant penalty in itself, to the drastic measure of having club-affiliated tattoos removed. Such an act signifies a profound rupture with the club's identity and is regarded as a grave consequence for breaching its established norms and principles.